What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Told one subscriber, he said I always miss it when you go live. Told him I was gonna go live today. Usually we do live stream Saturdays, but we gonna start kind of putting something in the middle of the week, man. So I can accommodate everybody else that can't make it on a Saturday. So try to mix it up when I can. What's up, Beast Mode 21840, bro? What's going on? Talking about Detroit Lions and something I wanted to kind of retouch on. Did Jim Caldwell, really hold back Jim Bob Cooter as a play caller. I think I might have touched on this like a while ago after the season. So I definitely want to rebuff it or touch on it for the first time. And as you come into the chat, let me know you're there. But yeah, this is a real high possibility because most people believe that's why the Lions pretty much retain Jim Bob Cooter. And I definitely starting to believe that, man. I definitely started to believe it because I remember when Matthew Stafford, was meeting with Jim Caldwell and I guess the head brass as well too, Martin Mayhew and Tom Lewan at the time when they hired Jim Bob Cooter. When they hired Jim Caldwell, excuse me, and Jim Caldwell brought some tape into the interview, similar to what Dwayne Casey did with his interview with the Detroit Pistons this week or whenever he interviewed. He's one of the three finalists for the Pistons job. But Udoka, he's married to Nia Long, the actress. Dwayne Casey and Michigan coach John Beilein, by the way, if anybody that didn't know that. Still waiting on news for the Pistons hire as well too. But back to the Lions talk. So Jim Caldwell, he brought a tape into the interview and showed Matthew Stafford can improve that. And he wanted to make Matthew Stafford more of a game manager than a gunslinger. And that was his point of showing him not to take as many chances and kind of sway the play call and get rid of the gunslinging mentality that he had and really make him more of a game manager. So that's telling me right there that was his philosophy coming into the job to really limit Matthew Stafford's turnovers and his interceptions, and he did that. But in the grand scheme of things, he made Matthew Stafford a tame wild animal. And when you got a tame wild animal, at the end of the day, he's still gonna want to, he's still gonna want to break out and be that beast that he truly can be. And Matthew Stafford couldn't be the beast that he truly can be. Brett Favre was a known gunslinger, and part of his career kind of got him in trouble, but it got him out of a lot of bad situations as well too. And after a while, once you kind of, preach ball safety and preach be a little bit more careful with the ball, you got to trust Matthew Stafford to go out there and make those plays, man, and still kind of be himself, but just not really take off and really, go all, Matthew Stafford. Because I believe he threw almost 20 interceptions the year before Jim Caldwell got there. So I can see Jim Caldwell telling Jim Bob Cooter, we're not going to let this kid, sling it all over the field like that no more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna keep it simplified. We're gonna take a couple shots downfield, but you know what? We want to feed, we want to feed Golden Tate in the short intermediate routes. We want to feed Eric Ebron. We want to spread the ball around, and we want to be, safe with the ball. We don't want to just chuck it up to Calvin Johnson, like we've been accustomed to doing. And I believe Jim Caldwell really did, really kind of tame Jim Bob Cooter's play calling, man. Beast Mode 21840 said he definitely held Jim Bob back from doing what he wanted to do and maybe limited the type of plays that Jim Bob ran in the offense. I definitely agree. And it showed. It really did show at certain times when they was really, really redundant with the same play calls that they was calling. They was calling the same routes. It was the same philosophy. He just didn't let Jim Caldwell bust out as a play caller like he wanted to. And we really gonna see if that was true or that was a fable. Because this year, this is the money year for Jim Caldwell. Jim Bob Cooter, and people believe that Jim Bob Cooter is really a rising star in the football grand scheme of things. He basically was offered a Tennessee job and he turned it down. He was offered other jobs to get away from the Lions job, but he stayed with the Detroit Lions because I guess he felt he had unfinished business with Matthew Stafford, and he liked the situation he was in. And what person wouldn't like the situation? Excuse me. One person wouldn't like the situation that Jim Bob Cooter is in. He got the best receiving core in the National Football League. Now he got some assistance in running the ball. Now he pretty much got free reign because the head coach is actually a defensive coach with an offensive background as well too. But he not gonna have another offensive mind over him that he gonna have to answer to. He gonna be the ultimate offensive play caller. He don't have to run the plays through Jim Caldwell anymore. He not gonna have a head coach consistently sitting at him with all at the offensive meetings and really helping him diagram the game plan this week. He don't have anybody to answer to. He's gonna be able to draw up these game plans, revise his playbook, scrap out what he don't like. He not gonna have to run Joe Lombardi, excuse me. He not gonna have to run Jim Caldwell plays. This is gonna be truly Jim Bob Cooter plays this year, and he basically gonna be able to right his wrongs in his perception this year with the Detroit Lions. And the great thing about it for Jim Bob Cooter is that he may have the assistance of a running game this year. And if he has a running game and he's able to run the ball and mix the run in with the passing plays, be on the lookout for Jim Bob Cooter potentially possibly being named as a head coaching candidate after this season, man. Beast mode again, it was kind of easy to see when he was calling the offense, because when Caldwell, he just kept running the same plays over and over again. And when Jim Bob was calling it, it was more mixed play, especially the last game of the season. You know, kind of like Jim Caldwell said, you know what, shit, I'm already fired. Excuse my language. Excuse my French. I'm already fired. Let Jim Bob Cooter have his fun. I think when Jim Bob Cooter kind of went into the office and kind of re-interviewed, whatever you want to call it, with Bob Quinn and with the management and the brass, I think that was the selling point. Like, look here, man, this was Jim Caldwell calling these plays, man. This was his plays. I just want an opportunity to show you guys that, what I can do as a play caller. And I think that's exactly, the issue, man. I think that's why he got a second chance. Now Terrell Austin was a totally different situation. Terrell Austin just so happened to be on the side of the coaching pendulum where the head coach was going to be a defensive coach and he wanted his own philosophy. He wanted his own people. That's the side of the ball that he most valued, or that's the side of the ball that he was most educated on. So Terrell Austin wasn't from that defensive tree, so he had to lead. Jim Bob Cooter, he basically like the head offensive mind over there. He like the head coach of the offense, and Matt Patricia, the head coach of the defense. Only difference is that Matt Patricia is going to be able to approve and disapprove going forward on third and fourth down, or going forward on fourth down in controversial fourth and inches situations. He ultimately make those decisions. But as far as the play calling, Jim Bob Cooter ain't got to run nothing by nobody else in that organization no more. He's his own boss. He's going out on his own merit this year. He's going on a limb, calling these plays, and what can we expect to see from him? Overall, what he should be able to do more is trust Matthew Stafford and take more shots downfield. What he should do more is play action, especially if he got the threat of a run game. He's going to be able to really have a tight end he really can trust going across the middle and deep in the middle, and a real red zone threat in Michael Roberts, and a real deep, threat at tight end from Luke Wilson. I think he's really going to he'd be able to feature Golden Tate like he wants to. He's going to be able to feature Kenny Galladay, and Marvin Jones. He's going to be able to get Theo out the backfield. Theo going to play some slot. He'll be able to hand the ball off to LeGarrette Blount. Kerryon Johnson can catch it, run it, play quarterback a little bit. So he's going to have all the tools at his disposal this year, especially hopefully a better offensive line with Greg Robinson being out there and Travis Swanson, both cancers to the offensive line gone. So those things to look at. He's going to have a totally different situation. It just won't be on the strength of Jim Caldwell won't be in there. He got a totally better situation. In beast mode again, Caldwell, I feel like he never went for it. He never went for it unless it was for the game. I feel like Jim Bob would go for it. Yeah, of course he'd go for it more because Jim Bob Cooter's job is on the line. His reputation is on the line. This is either going to be a breakout year for him. He's going to be able to get another job. He really going to let it rip this year. And he's already, got his playbook. He rebuilt his playbook up. It's going to be his plays for the first time in a long time. You remember the year Joe Lombardi got fired and got up out of here. That was his playbook. That was that hybrid Saints playbook that didn't even work for the Saints that year. So for him, it's going to be his playbook. It's going to be his show. He ain't got to answer to nobody other than if it's like controversial, like fourth and inches, or is it the third? Is it the third and whatever, or should we kick the field goal to go for it? So he gonna have free reign. He gonna be able to be like a fat woman. He gonna be able to take his bra off and let his titties rest where they rest at. And he gonna be able to say, at least I went out my way and got a second opportunity. Martha Ford gave me an opportunity, and Bob Quinn gave me another opportunity, and Matt Patricia believed in me, and Stafford vouched for me. So it's gonna be all on him. Carmel was too passive, and that irked me. I was calling 80% of the plays watching the game. That's Kau. Yeah. It was predictable. I mean, each third down play was the same thing. How many years have we seen that end around play from the Detroit Lions from the receiver jet sweep? I was so tired of that play. Scott Linehan ran that play into the ground. I mean, Mike Martz ran that play into the ground. Then Caldwell and Jim Bob Cooter, Joe Lombardi ran that play into the ground. That's the single most irritating play in Lions history. Whatever you want to call it, the receiver end around, the jet sweep. I hated that. I just hated that play, bro. I hate that play to this day. I wouldn't even call it on Madden, even if it was one of those glitch plays that work. I just hated that play. You know, I'm just tired of it. But like I said, this is going to be Jim Bob Cooter's show. I believe that he can get the job done this year. I believe that he's one of those great offensive minds too, man. And I'm just thinking that and thinking about what Jim Caldwell said in those interviews that was leaked about how he wanted to make Matthew Stafford more of a game manager than a gunslinger. That just shows you his personality poured over to the offensive room, and he wanted them to be a little bit more passive and have a chance to win the game. But also, they both were hindered by not being able to run the ball. And how can you be a head coach in Jim Caldwell, not to shit on his parade, and not know how to get the run game going? The run game isn't a difficult thing to get going. It's not difficult. You know, schematically, they ran a lot of finesse running plays. Was it a misdirection, an HB cutback? Was it a sweep? Was it a stretch play? The Lions never had that real dirty dog mentality of we going to line up, we going to run north and south or south and north, and we going to punch you dead in the mouth. We going to run the ball no matter how you like it or not. That mentality never poured down to the offensive line room. It never poured down to the running backs. We never had the running back that had that mentality as well, neither. All the running backs were finesse running backs or maybe Zach Zenner that ran with power, just wasn't big enough to take the grind in the NFL season. So that was just something to look at right there, man. You know, major. Now you got the two workhorse running backs in Kerryon Johnson that had the most yards at the contact in college football, and now you got the bolder LeGarrette Blount that's gonna open up and get up in there and create some space. If it ain't a hole, he gonna make a way. Same for Kerryon Johnson. If it ain't a hole, he gonna make a way. So you never had those real running backs. Now, if you want to get to talk about the issue about the running game, I'm gonna tell you what the issue for the running game is after I read this comment. Kau, you seen when Tion ran it, he did, but he got almost no chance. Yeah, this it's simple as this, man. The center position for a long time, and the left tackle position for the Lions was the reason they couldn't run the ball. You're going way back to when Matthew Stafford second year when Jeff Backus was still in a two-point stance. And Julius Peppers for the Chicago Bears had separated Matthew Stafford's shoulder that year. You go back and watch the film, Dominic Raiola was consistently in the quarterback's lap on every run play and every pass play. He wasn't big enough to play the center position. And the 1 year he did put the muscle on to play the center position, the Lions were able to run the ball, and Jeff Backus was no longer there. That year when they had Reggie and Joy Bell, Reggie reached 1,000 yards. That was Dominic Raiola's best year. I think he made the Pro Bowl that year. But after that, he was old. He didn't put the muscle back on him. You go to Travis Swanson and Greg Robinson last year. Greg Robinson, he threw the imbalance of the whole offensive line off. Nobody trusted the person next to him because they had to worry about Greg Robinson letting the sack go off the left ear, so everybody had to do a little bit more. And on top of that, Travis Swanson was a shit center. Excuse my language. If your center can't win at the point of attack, your center not big and strong enough, how is you gonna run the ball, especially north and south? And their biggest problems are the two most important positions on the offensive line. They invested into the right tackle. They invested into the right guard. They invested into the left guard with Glenn Grascow. They invested into the left tackle with Eric Decker, which he was hurt earlier last year. But it turns out the left tackle position was a weakness with Greg Robinson early last year. And then the center position was an ultimate weakness. So two of your most important offensive line positions with an orthodox quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, it was shit. You can't run the ball without a center, especially going north and south. And that's the way you got to run in the National Football League. These linebackers, safeties, and corners are too fast, too quick, and too physical in this league to run the ball east and west all the time. Only time you really can run it east and west is when you're able to pound the rock on the inside, and then you can wear them out on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they identified that issue. I'm pretty sure Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn looked at the tape, said, you know what? We cut Greg Robinson, Taylor Decker back. He the truth at left tackle. Travis Swansea, he garbage. We got to let him go. Where you go to the Jets or something like that. We going to get Frank who gives a fuck. That's what we call him on here because that's what I called him draft day until I seen the second pick. But Frank Ragnow, you know, he playing that center right now. It's only OTAs, mini camps, whatever you want to call it. It's not a big thing in my opinion. He eventually take over the center position. You know, in Van Glasgow, he was a center by trade. So you got two guys that's interchangeable and versatile for the center and guard position. If that center position is nailed down and they're able to really run the ball and Stafford is able to get some protection up the middle and Taylor Decker do what he do and be the great wall of China on the left tackle, the offensive line play will be better. And that also opens up Jim Bob Cooter's playbook. He's able to call more 5 and 7 step drops. You know, and with the threat of a run game, Stafford was already a top 5 play action quarterback. So you add a running game, you know, to that, he's going to be the number 1 play action quarterback this year. You add a tight end and Luke Wilson, who is known to stretch the field to get downfield. You add a quarterback with an offensive coordinator who no longer has shackles on him no more. He gonna chuck that thing down on Luke Wilson. Michael Roberts, he gonna be a true red zone threat. He gonna be a true mid intermediate threat down the middle of the field. You know, Golden Tate. You know, I'm pretty sure he designed some sick plays for Golden Tate as well too. Golden Tate is a receiver. Let's start there. Golden Tate is a receiver that should have 100 catches every year. He's a better athlete than Julian Edelman. He's a better athlete than Wes Welker was. He's a better athlete than Cole Beasley, Ryan Switzer, I believe, who got traded from the Cowboys to the 49ers. Don't quote me on that. Who's going to be a phenomenal slot as well too. He's a better athlete than all those guys. You know, Golden Tate is a guy that can get downfield, steal in the slot. He's a guy that's hard to jam in the slot, especially when you put him, put him in unbumpable routes. He's a guy that get a free release. You can't do nothing with him. You know, you can bracket him all you want to. You can play under and over covers with him, but guess what? You do that, you ain't got to worry about Eric Ebron dropping the ball no more. You know, you got to worry about Luke Wilson and Michael Roberts going over your head and jumping and catching them balls, and not playing your poison with Eric Ebron, hoping it's just the ball that he just end up dropping. You know, then you got to worry about Kenny G. Then you got to worry about Marvin Jones. Then you got to worry about Theo Reddick on Texas route. Then you got to worry about Kerryon Johnson because, contrary to people believe, he's a 3-down back. He can catch the ball out the backfield as well too. So it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough sledding for a lot of defenses this year, especially if the Lions get that run game going. And Frank, who gives a fuck? That's what we call him on this channel. He can do his thing, man, and really block. It's gonna be a good year if everybody can remain healthy. You know what I'm saying? Beefcake, boys, what's going on? Do you think Roberts might start? I'm hearing that he's turning up in camp. He definitely only some playing time. They signed another tight end, Wes Sexton. I don't really not familiar with him, but Michael Roberts was one of those guys. They went down to Toledo to scout last year with Kareem Hunt. Now I thought they was gonna draft Kareem Hunt, but it didn't work that way. But Michael Roberts was one of the biggest red zone threats in college football, especially the MAC last year. And they say he's doing good this year. And they also got the tight end from Atlanta, who's a well-known blocker as well too. So it'll be a competition, but hopefully we can get through training camp 100% healthy. You know, training camp is, let me touch there before we get back to the Jim Bob Cooter situation. Training camp really, really injures a lot of people, and it's a real, real deep time for athletes because you got to think about football as a physical sport. You grind, you getting beat up all year. You probably want to take a couple months off, and then you get out of shape, and then you traveling, then you partying. It's hard to get back into training mode come around, March, April, May-ish, and get back in shape right before camp and many camps or training camp. It's hard to get back in shape. You enjoying life. You know, your average NFL week for guys that haven't played football or high school or anybody that played any sports, especially as physical as football, your week is pretty much rehabbing, man. It's rehabbing, it's ice bath, it's biofreeze, it's going to the chiropractor, it's spending time in the training room. That's your week. So when you ain't got that on the agenda no more, the season gone, you can just rehab and rest at the house for a month or 2 or 6 weeks, whatever you got going on. And then you get out and you're able to travel, party, enjoy life like you wasn't able to enjoy it during the season. You ain't got to do no film study. then comes March, April, May. It's time to get back in shape. That's hard for people to get back in shape, especially the big fellas. When they go into Benihana's and go into the Golden Corral buffet and eating, man, it's hard for them to get back in shape. So once you get in the training camp, especially when it's no more two-a-days no more, but once you go to training camp, you start getting those soft tissue injuries, them hamstrings, them quads. You start getting the MCL, the ACL, tears and sprains, the Achilles. You getting the back strain because guys ain't in shape. And it's hard to ask these guys to get in shape when they spending 18, 17, 20, plus training camp and preseason, you spending 20 weeks out of the year, 30 weeks out of the year, if you look at the playoffs and Super Bowl, training for football and rehabbing all year. So that's why guys come into the camp out of shape because they want to enjoy their life for the first time. You know what I'm saying? But streetwise, television, I feel like in a way this offense will go as far as Kerryon Johnson will take us. If he's another Le'Veon Bell or even close to it, I feel like this could be a championship caliber offense. I think that will make it a championship caliber team, in my opinion. I'm really not sold on defense because I don't know exactly what the defense will be. But streetwise television, he's definitely right. If anybody got questions, go ahead and ask them. I'm just carrying on right now. I'll answer your question. I'm about to answer this question in 1 second. But yeah, it's gonna go as far as the running backs take them, not just Kerryon Johnson. LeGarrette Blount is a guy that got deceptive deep speed as well too. LeGarrette Blount is a hell of an athlete. He got agility. He's known as a big guy, but he fast, man. What up, Marlowe's Corner? He didn't creep up in here, bro. I didn't even know you know about this channel. But what up to the brother Marlowe's Corner, man? He got some good talk as well too, man. Follow my other channel, man. So yeah, Kerryon is a guy that he can catch it. He played the Wildcat. He can run inside the tackles. He had the most contact after college football. But I think this offense is gonna go as far as all three of them running backs. Even Amir Abdullah, because injuries happen in football, and he's a capable starting. He's a capable he's a capable substitute starting running back. So with Theo Reddick coming out running Texas routes, running in and out routes, he gonna play the slot. He gonna be a great third down back. With Kerryon Johnson get some carries. If they're able to be effective, not only does that make our offense more effective, that helps our defense stay rested. That makes our tremendous special teams have a great field position. We got the kicker, we got the punter, we got the returner. We got the defensive backfield. The only real question about this real Lions team is the running game, the line play, the front seven, linebackers, and defensive linemen. They addressed the linebacker situation, but what's up to Fox? What up, Fox team? They addressed the linebacker situation, but I don't know shit about Devin Kennard, and I don't know much about Christian Jones. I've seen some Devin Kennard highlight tapes. He looks to be the hybrid 3-4, 4-3 pass rushing end, and he's a big guy. So those are the real questions, man, in health, because you never can predict the health. The deepest part of this team for us is the defensive backfield, the running back position, and the receiver position. But by running that ball, if they can run that ball, that changes the whole entire team for the Lions. That makes Stafford's job that much easier. That put years back on Stafford's shelf life, and he ain't got to drop back 50 times. Stafford shouldn't be having to drop back 50 times, man. Come on. Honestly, with these running backs he got this year and this rebuilt offensive line, the most Stafford should have to drop back is 30 times this year, man. Anything above 30 times other than extended play or overtime is just too excessive for a quarterback like that. You ask for him to get crumbled and get beat up. Cliff, what to do? My only concern with the defense is just really Jared Davis' footwork and his reaction speed and coverage. Yeah, but the thing about that is, man, the Patriots has had some of the most unathletic linebackers in the world. Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi, big Goliath, caveman linebackers. Look at Kyle Van Noy. We thought he couldn't cover, he couldn't cover a piece of paper, but in that scheme that the Patriots run, the linebackers aren't asked to do that much, man. So we'll see, man. I think Jared Davis is not going to be put in that position no more. And I think that it's going to be more of a zone-oriented defense. And I think he's going to improve, though. He the athlete to improve, though, for sure. He's definitely the athlete to improve. But I think this Patriots defense is going to be more about scheme and linebacker fit. And I think they identified two linebackers, Christian Jones and Devin Kennard that they like and they know what they want to do with. Beefcake Boys, do you think the Lions division? Do you think the Lions division? What do you think the Lions division record? I don't know, man. It's too early, man. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers as well too. I got to see if it's true. Then I'll drop a video on this, and I'll talk about it real quick after I answer these last two questions. Cal, very true. I think Jerry Davis will be great this year. He knows his weakness and works hard. Yeah, he come from a hard-working family. He come from a blue-collar family. He ain't got no choice but to do better. He ain't in the club popping bottles or beating up on his girlfriend or his girlfriend line. He beating up on her like Ruben Patterson. He stay out the limelight. He pretty much got a good street record. I'm a good track record. Street Ross Telly, man. Yeah, that's true. Jamal Agnew was a beast. He could be the next great returner, but I do realize Agnew is competing for the nickel position. Yep. He's competing with Quadre, right? Yeah, he's competing with Quadre Diggs, and Quadre Diggs is competing with the safety position. And another video I could talk about, Miles Killebrew is buried on the depth chart already. He's the number 5 safety behind Tracy Walker. And Tracy Walker is a rookie, you know what I'm saying? So, it's a good possibility that Miles Killebrew could be cut this year, man. But yeah, man, the running game is real vital, and that's what the Lions identified this year. They say, look here, man, for us to run the ball, for us to be successful, we got to run the ball. And Kerryon Johnson is a big part of it. And if he could be Le'Veon Bell, that'd be excellent. He got some Le'Veon Bell traits to him. He real patient. He's a workhorse. He can catch it, and he kind of can. He got good vision. He kind of one of those glider runners. He picks a spot. He's real patient. He got a hell of a stiff arm. He got yards at the contact. So he could move the linebacker. I heard he on the chopping block, though. I mean, I don't know if he wants to move the linebacker. He buried under, Glover Quinn, Tavon Wilson, Quadre Diggs, Tracy Walker. He buried on that depth chart, man. He buried. He looked the part. He looked like he could play. I remember that one play that reminded me of Miles Killebrew last year. We played Minnesota the first game, the game where Dalvin Cook got injured, and Case Keenum throws it in the end zone, and Miles Killebrew drops the interception. They end up scoring, I think, a field goal or a touchdown on that drive, and he could have ended that drive, and they wouldn't have scored no points on us that year. That's what I remember about Miles Killebrew from last year. You know what I'm saying? But he got PT. Maybe it's just not the system for him, man, or maybe he just need to change the scenery. But I heard, man, I wish I could pull this up, man. I'm gonna try to pull this up real quick, and I want to get this quote for Aaron Rodgers, man. I definitely want to get this quote. I don't know how true it is, man. I'm in a Milwaukee-based sports group. Shout out to Sports Global Elite. I really can't find this thing that he said. But he said something really, really crazy about a contract. I heard that he wanted a contract where it says that hold on, I'm trying to read it right now. They said it was fake news what he asked for, but it was out there asked that Aaron Rodgers wanted a contract. He said it was fake news that he wanted a contract where every time a quarterback became the richest quarterback, he wanted to opt out his contract and redo his contract to be the richest quarterback to trump them. I know it sounded silly, and I'm like, that don't sound too true. But the thing about it is, after Kirk Cousins got that fully guaranteed contract, why shouldn't Aaron Rodgers be entitled to that? You know what I'm saying? Honestly. If he's the best, he's the most important quarterback in the league, because without him, we've seen what happened to the Packers. They have no other plan. They're human with him, to be honest. With him, they're more inhuman than human. With them, they human because Clay Matthews, he's aged. They have no real pass rush up front. They drafted 1,000 DBs, so they value defensive backs because of the division they in with Gibbs and Thielen with Allen Robinson, Trey Burton, Tyreek Cohen, and Jones and Golden Tate, and all these different receivers in their division. I understand that, but where's the pass rush at? Clay Matthews is not even a primary edge rusher no more. He's a guy that can play inside on the edge. Mike Daniels is a good defensive lineman, but where's that Julius Pepper type of guy at? Where's the Everson Griffin? Where's the Ziggy Ansah at? You know, where's that pass rusher at from the Green Bay Packers? They identified at getting all defensive backs, but didn't worry about the very first basic important play of front seven defense and defense in general, getting to the quarterback. They did not address getting to the quarterback this offseason. They brought a kid in from New Jersey from the Jets, Muhammad Wilkerson. You know, he's a fine defensive lineman. I mean, when he in his right mind, you know, he's 2 or 3 levels just below J.J. Watt at his best. He's a beast. Him and Sheldon Richardson, beast. But he's not a guy that's going to go out there and get you 10, 15 sacks. Clay Matthews no longer that guy as well neither. You know, they putting everything on Aaron Rodgers. They got rid of Jordy Nelson. He wasn't happy about that, okay? They brought Jimmy Graham in. Now, Jimmy Graham had some tough years in Seattle because obviously Seattle is an improvising offense. It's, you know, Russell Wilson improviser rolling out, chucking it downfield. He had some very, very bad drops, and they didn't know how to feed Jimmy Graham. But Jimmy Graham is beat up. He dropped a lot of passes, and they banking on him to be better than what Martellus Bennett was last year and to really have a breakout year and put him, you know, they want him to be like when he had Drew Brees, now Aaron Rodgers. But they put it on him, Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb. They put it all on them, and a rookie with his name, Jamal Williams. They put it all on them. But obviously, the Packers don't have a defense that they, you know, that they had with Peppers there was at one time when Julius Peppers was there. You know, they got all them DBs, but no front seven. And if Jimmy Graham don't come in healthy and motivated, they got rid of Jordy Nelson. He went to Oakland, / Las Vegas. And they basically bet on Jimmy Graham, Randall Cobb, who been often injured, Geronimo Adams or Allison, whatever his name is, and Devontae Adams. That's a crapshoot, man. That's a real crapshoot. Yeah, the Packers coaching staff is one of the worst in football, in my opinion. They just don't get exposed. That is because of Aaron Rodgers. Exactly. Aaron Rodgers covers up a lot of deficiencies for the Packers. They go as he go. And a lot of plays they call, and it'd be Aaron Rodgers buying time and rolling out, stepping up in the pocket and scrambling, making them plays happen. They don't be off the strength of the West Coast system, McCarthy run. So he do deserve a contract like that, to be honest. You know, they took away everything from him. I mean, how you take away Jordy Nelson, man? He's been one of the most consistent receivers in football through coming back from the injury last year. You know, and it's like I said, I mean, you know, they want Aaron to do everything. Aaron, I wouldn't step on the field unless I got the contract that I wanted. You know, honestly, I wouldn't step on that field unless I got the contract that I wanted. And I ain't trying to make this the Aaron Rodgers show by no means necessary, but shit. I mean, I don't fear the Packers. At one point, I kind of feared them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm like, yeah, the Packers coming. You know, that's an L last game of the season. That mystique is gone. That mystique is gone. That ain't there no more. Nobody worry about the damn Packers no more. You know, they human. You know, they bleed just like we bleed. They sweat just like we sweat. You know, that team ain't built, you know, it ain't built solid. It ain't built strong. It ain't once the Magic Kingdom that it once was. It's not that no more. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, we ain't worried about him neither. Chicago worried me a little bit because they doing pretty good right now. But I ain't worried about the baby Cubs, the Care Bears as well neither. This division is for the taking. What's up, Beast Mode? We're just really relying on our run game to get better this year. We're a Super Bowl team. I agree, especially if the defense just do what they can do. Matty Licious. G's Tabor had a great practice today. Is there any chance he breaks out this year? Yeah, he got to beat out Deshaun Shedd and Nevin Lawson, which Nevin Lawson ain't no fucking problem. Nevin Lawson is just a depth guy. Nevin Lawson is one of them DBs. He in the same fucking category, excuse my language, as Bill Bentley and Aaron Berry. Aaron Berry was the quarterback in the New Orleans Saints game that legitimately dropped about 3 or 4 interceptions. Tease Tabor has excellent ball skills. He's a long corner. He's a guy that's slower, but, you know, he's patient. You know, he got good technique, and he got to beat out Deshaun Shedd. Deshaun Shedd is about the same size as him, just a little bit more stockier and bulkier than he is. But Tease Tabor got better raw talent than Deshaun Shedd. Tease Tabor is an excellent ball skill top corner. He's long. He going to play the ball at the point of attack. He can break out this year. He can. Packers slow. This is Beefcake Boys. Packers slowly getting worse as the line's getting bigger. Yup. Same thing for the Bears. The Bears are getting better. The Vikings are even getting better. They're building the team up as well. Team Timpson, get your shovels out. We're starting to bury the pack. They starting to bury themselves by being cheap. Aaron is great. Aaron is great. Jimmy also, but I just based on their defense, I just don't see the Packers being a threat. I'm not sold on the Bears either, bro. Bro, good front seven, but secondary still suspect. But they didn't put their money where their mouth is in the receiving core as well too, with Allen Green, and they got the Tyreek Cohen cat. Jordan Howard still toting it. Trey Burton is a good player. They got Tyler Gabriel. He's a good gadget guy. Yeah, but they secondary. I think about Kyle Fuller back as well too, but he iffy. Sometimes he look like a Pro Bowl guy. Sometimes he look like a bench guy. But they front seven is nasty with the Georgia Bulldog defensive ends and Raekwon Smith and Leonard Floyd, and they got a good front seven. But man, like I said, man, this division is pretty much for the grass, especially before we get to training camp. We know we're gonna have some injuries. Tim Timpson, Charles Woodson was a slower corner too. We know how that turned out. Yeah. Yep. Even when he came out, he was slow. He was able to shift to the nickel and then eventually go to the safety. But just like Charles Woodson, Tease Tabor got some good ball skills, man. He got some really, really good ball skills, man. And when you had great technique and ball skills, and you're able to tackle and you're able to get the ball at the point of his attack, that the speed really don't really matter no more, man. Slade plays the ball. Shed is a big physical corner. Tabor is also a guy who plays the ball. Lawson is just depth. Exactly, B Smoke. He's a depth guy. He's a guy that, all right, and I got to go 3 or 4 deep in my cornerback position. I know he done started like 20 games his career. He ain't the worst backup in the world. But T's issue is just game speed and learning the tricks to the trade. Once he learned that, he'd be good. He'd be battling Deshaun Shed and Lawson. Shed is good comp. He's a real good competition. And he'd be a good, either one of them be a good number one corner as a backup to Darius Slay if something happens to him. But Tracy Walker is a guy that can slide into the corner competition as well too. He's just not a safety. He got corner properties as well too. He's good press corner, good long corner. They're not sure he's 100% safety as well right now too. So that's it. I mean, the defensive backfield ain't been as good in a long time, man. We had some shitty ass defensive backfields under a defensive back of Martin Mayhew who played defensive back in the NFL. Go figure. He couldn't even evaluate defensive backs. Streetwise television, Lions and Bears could be the future of the division. Kerryon Hyder is low key to the potential of the defense year. Him and Ansa beat up them tackles. It'll set up everybody else. Yep, Devin Kennard gonna be coming off the edge too. He's gonna be in rush situations too. So when they go to nickel, Kennard might come in as a defensive end or a pass rusher as well too. So you're right. Kerryon Hyder is definitely a game changer, man. Joey 2 times at $9.6 million, 2 years. Lawson is not a depth signing. Lawson is a favorite to start. He won't start, bro. He won't start, Joey 2 times. He will not start. I can guarantee you that. He will not start this year. He will not start over he started the nickel cornerback, but he ain't starting at number 2. I'll tell you that right now. Just because of that money, they probably won't, if they can cut him, they probably won't owe him nothing. But he is not starting over Deshaun Shed. He's not starting over Tease Tabor. Both of them, he not starting. I guarantee you that. I'll put that on everything. He'll start at nickel. And I don't think he'll beat out Jamal Agnew at nickel. Jamal Agnew had the most pass defenses in college football at San Diego University. So he can play the nickel as well, too. I'm just worried about the injury before season. Me, too. Training camp injuries is always the most scariest, man. In preseason, especially what happened to Kerryon Hyder last year. Clay Money, this is our year, period. We too deep. Watch out for Lukey, baby. Yeah, Luke Wilson what is he from Windsor? He's a local guy. Definitely stretch the field. Him and Michael Roberts. I think they both upgrade over Eric Ebron. I just love to see the first Eric Ebron drop in Indianapolis, dog. And it ain't even 100% sure in Indianapolis that Andrew Luck gonna play. So that's something else to look at as well, too. I don't think he's gonna be able to come back and be effective. Tease Tabor is nice. Nevin is trash, bro. I think Shed will still if he stays healthy. Yeah, I'm telling you between Shed and Tease Tabor, man. But anything can happen. Injuries can happen, and Lawson can squeeze up in there. Look at the contract, and most of his contracts is guaranteed. Watch Lawson get. He's not getting the number 2 spot, bro. I'm telling you that right now. Devin Lawson will not open the season at number 2 if everybody's healthy. I'm telling you that right now. He will not. You can say all you want to about that contract. They paid Deshaun Shed too. Deshaun Shed is 100% better cornerback than Nevin Lawson, bro. They might be looking at Lawson more of a nickel cornerback because if Quadre Diggs win the safety competition, who else to compete at nickel? It's gonna be Lawson, and it got to be Lawson and Quadre Diggs to play the nickel. I mean, not Quadre, but what's the kid name? Jamal Agnew. So I'm trying to tell you, Lawson, after last year, he got pulled for he was sharing time with DJ Hayden for the second quarterback position. So he ain't starting at the second cornerback position. Not if everybody healthy. You know, he gonna see the field as a nickel at the best. You know, they signed Zach Zenner too. What that mean? That don't mean Zach Zenner gonna make the team or he gonna play. He's just a depth guy. Him and Washington, I expect them to be cut or in practice squad anytime soon. That's just my opinion right there, man. But he right. I mean, if he got 9.6 million, shit, I'm sure he ain't starting though. Because if they wanted him to start, the position, the battle would be between Tease and Neville Lawson. They wouldn't have went to go get Deshaun Shedd. Tease Saber could be AJ Boye of this season as far as ball skills, technique, football IQ. I could totally see it. Yeah, Boye is cold. He was cold with Houston. I mean, it don't matter if it's 1 year. I mean, obviously, bro. This is Timpson. Obviously, if you look on film, Deshaun Shedd is a better cornerback than Neville Lawson. I can just tell you that right now. You know, I know Zenner got a basic ass contract, but at the end of the day, they still re-sign him. They still re-signed him, and he know he's not gonna make the roster. He's not even gonna beat out the fullback, Dick Barton. He won't beat him out. Washington, he gotta go. They still believe in him. Clay Money Killebrew to linebacker gonna look good. Mark my word. He meant my words. It could be. That's I don't know. If maybe he's not willing to go to linebacker. I don't know what it is with him, man. Trying to look like a legit number 2 on film. I really like what I saw. Yeah, he's real physical. You know, he's a big cornerback. To anybody that watched Neville Lawson play, man, no Neville Lawson is not a starting number 2 corner. He probably gonna fit in a nickel scheme. We might run 3 safeties like New England. Yep, right. And then they got 5 on the depth chart. YouTube video. Yeah, you gotta get the whole scout film on some of these players. The highlights don't do no justice though. But see, you don't need YouTube. You can use YouTube to see Neville Lawson ain't shit. Neville Lawson is garbage, man. He hot garbage. I mean, steaming hot garbage. I mean, can't turn his head. And didn't he lead the league in pass interference last year? Just holding on to people for no reason, Cliffo. The biggest question I got for you, though, bro, is what was the point of bringing Brad Cahill back? They brought Brad Cahill back? I ain't know that. I thought he still was North with Carolina. Maybe they like what they see in Brad Cahill. You know, that's by Felicia from Friday. That's her son. I don't love Lawson either, but you don't throw 10 million at a bitch player. I mean, I'm telling you, he not gonna start. I'm gonna tell you what I know. He never lost his garbage, man. He garbage. I mean, grab all types of stuff, man. Neville Lawson is just not a good cornerback. I told you, maybe he competing for the nickel position. That's what it got to be. Because only nickels on the team I know is Agnew and Quadre Diggs, and Quadre Diggs is competing for he's competing for the safety position as well too. You know, so you know he's competing for the safety position. No, because Neville Lawson is garbage, dog. He wouldn't start on any team in the NFL, even the Browns. No, but it is what it is, man. We got to wait and see. Corner Slay 1, T's 2, Shed 3 at number 3 because he's faster than Tabor. Shed will probably actually. I don't know if Shed can play the nickel, man. The nickel was an acquired cornerback position. You know, those guys are more short, shifty, and quick inside the nickel because the nickel position or the slot receiver can go any which way. When you are wide, the slot receiver only basically can really go one way because of the boundary. So everybody can't play nickel though. I don't know if Taylor can play nickel. That's a good question. He might not be quick enough to play nickel. He might be. I don't know. I wouldn't even waste my battery to look at highlights. Streetwise Telly Lawson was signed for just depth. His PT is going down the drain. Maybe he can make an impact on special teams, man. But he's saying for $10 million. Well, it's incentives for $10 million. It's a $9 million contract. So, maybe I think he's gonna compete for the nickel position. I think that's what it's gonna have to be. He already 5'9", so he's gonna be a nickel position corner trying to compete for that. And maybe they just want to have Agnew just be the fourth corner and just continue to be a return man. But with them trying to take the kick return out the game, well, basically it won't be no kick return really this year and going forward. He's just going to exclusively be a punt guy. So, I think it's really just security on a nickel position. Because look, they only got one nickel player. I don't even know if Don Carey is still on the team because Don Carey used to be their utility guy. He used to be the nickel in the safety type of guy. Yeah, he's with the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Yep. So he been gone. I've been wondering about him because he was just a glue guy. I'm saying follow the money. Obviously, the Lions have much more opinion on. That's what I'm telling you. The Lions are going to want. I'm telling you, he's not beating out Tabor and old boy and Shea. He'll be the nickel because who is at the nickel position? It's either Quadre who can win the safety position. It's Jamal Agnew who's a kick returner. Lawson is going to be their nickel if he can beat out Agnew for the nickel. That's his position on the team. And the nickel cornerback is a starting cornerback position now. Because more teams are going 3 and 4 wides. More teams, they base defense is not 4-3 and 3-4 no more. A lot of these base defenses is nickel defenses now. So I think it's going to be more nickel. I think some of these DBs are here to push the young guys and make it start. True. That's Beefcake Boys. Joey 2 times. Don Carey being, I've been wondering about him, man. I see him going. He was Jacksonville. I like Don Carey, man. He wasn't always the best, but he was a guy. Somebody get injured in the secondary, he could plug in and play that position, man. I liked him, man. And what worries the shit out of me, Lawson was shining beacon of what the hell are you doing regularly during the game. Yeah, he always got passing. I can stand him. DJ Hayden was better than him, in my opinion. Wasn't that much better. Clay Money backfield from worst to top 10. Mr. Ragdoll at center. Best pick in the last 2 drafts. Yeah, he might be. He's a big guy. And then he gave up a sack his whole career. Tavon Wilson, bro, he's a Patricia boy. Yeah, Wilson is a safety, though, man. And they trying to play 3 safeties. He ain't really one of those safeties. I mean, maybe he could play nickel. He probably can, but I don't really see him being a nickel guy. I think Nevin Lawson would be a more fit nickel. I think Wilson might fuck around and start at safety. He might start at safety. Because Wilson, I didn't think he was a bad safety at all. He wasn't great, but he ain't fuck up though. He read the ship. He steered the ship the right way. Cliffo, I think this year's Reese Maven is going to be real good linebacker. Look out for him, undersized. I just think he plays with the high motor. I wasn't a fan of his though. Every time I see him, he had his head down, missing the tackle. He didn't have a mass. He got to put some muscle on, man. But obviously he could be good. He got the movement. He's just too small, man. Got to put a little bit of size on, man. I think he'd be all right. But he probably could push some of them linebackers, Reese Maven, though. He's definitely a phenomenal athlete, in my opinion. But a little bit of size won't help. Beast Mode, if we want to take a cap hit by cutting Lawson, I say do that shit. It's just too obvious. I think the Lions got a hell of a lot of cap space next year. I think it's like 50 million or 50 million they got next year. So they ain't trying to fuck up. They still got like 10 million, like 9 million under the cap. They still may be trying to get Jonathan Hankins. I think that's a priority to get Jonathan Hankins here, man. Joy 2 times. Lawson's been tops in the league in tackling after the catch. His yards after allow is amongst the lowest in the league. Look at it. I mean, I'm sorry. I know what my eyes tell me. He's terrible, dog. They can have all these analytics. Lawson is terrible. They ain't got to tell me nothing else. I've seen him not turn his head around. I see him grab when there was no need to grab. He terrible. I don't care. I don't like the guy, man. I've seen enough. I'm sorry. You ain't going to convince me to like that guy, man. I hate Lawson. When they brought him back, I damn near came to tears, man. Cal Wu. I like Quadre at safety. He was a missile and loved hitting people. Yeah, I ain't know he was no hitter like that, dog. I was wondering like why the hell he's still on the team. They didn't cut Alex Carter, got rid of Bill Bentley, got rid of everybody. Oh, I mean, why Quadre still on the team? Shit, Quadre Diggs was out there 5'9", making love happen on the field, making smash mouth love happen, just big hits. I like his mentality, dog. And he could catch the ball and take it to the house. I like Diggs. Yeah, he come down and smack him, man. I like Diggs, man. He surprised me last year. He almost made me go get his jersey with my Stafford jersey. Kyle, will he get all of them tackles because he allows too many catches? Yeah, he do. He be tackling them before they catch the ball to Nevin Lawson. That's how you get them catches. Problem is when he doesn't give up a catch, it's a penalty. That's the only reason that has after the catch are good, man. Oh, I can't stand Lawson, man. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sorry if you listen to Lawson. I can't stand you. I just had a question for you, bro. What really happened to them undrafted players that they was looking at? I seen some videos posted on YouTube. I don't know if you posted them, but they look. Oh, you talking about that one receiver? It was a receiver they drafted, man. He came from a D3 school. He was like 6'3" and ran a 4.3 or something like that. They signed him. Then they signed another guy from the Patriots. He was a receiver. So them the one receiver that was undrafted, he got signed. You know, he came from a small college school. And he ran a 4.3 or 4.4 at 6'3", 6'4". He got signed. I can tell you that right now. The other ones, I don't know, but the receiver, he came from the college with they had dark blue on. He got a contract, bro. 6'4" or 6'3" and ran a 4.4 or 4.3. I think he ended up going to a local college because some of his family member was sick. So it was a D3 school. Streetwise Telly, G, who do you think is the best cover corner we have? Because I'm really not sure. Cover linebacker. I don't know shit about Christian Jones. And I don't know shit about Devin Kennard. Man, I seen Kennard do a lot of pass rushing. I really don't know. To be honest, it might be me, Reeves Maven, to be honest. I really don't know. I can't answer. I got to look at the tape. Man, maybe it's just me, but I want to hear how Baldwin looks in OTAs. I want to see how he be hitting, man. Jared Davis, Theo Redding is his name. We don't have cover linebackers except for maybe. That's exactly what I just said. You know, I don't know about Christian Jones, man. He came from Florida State. I think he got injured or something. Came from the Bears, but he got injured. So, yeah, I'll just say maybe. I know maybe can cover because he can run. You know, and Jared Davis just got exposed last year by the Patriots, and everybody just played off of that. But Jared Davis did play good, though. You know, he did play good until, you know, Odell Beckham kind of cracked back and cheap shot at him, man. Let's not forget that. That changed Jared Davis' whole season. That concussion, that cheap shot Odell gave him, then somebody cheap shot at Odell Beckham. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm going to hop off. I'm probably squeeze 2 more videos in today, man. I'm going to talk about the Pistons, see what's going on with the Pistons, and I got one more Lions video, man, that's going to take us back in time a little bit, man. I definitely appreciate you guys for coming on with us. We're trying to pitch for 1,000 subs, so continue to share the videos, man. And we almost there, man. 1,000 subs in almost 8 months, man. It took me a year and a half to get that on my other channel. I'm now at 4,000 on my other channel, 4,300 subs. So let's keep it pushing, man. I definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. If you consider Killer Brew a linebacker, he would probably be the best cover linebacker. True that. If he goes there. Theo Redding was the receiver name. Oh, that was his name. Oh, Theo Redding. Yep. Okay. I thought you were talking about Theo Redding. Theo Redding. Okay, I got to look at him. I was seeing some of his highlights as well. And the crazy thing about it is they lost him back, and he was terrible his whole time there, but you would still give him more money. You can't even trade nothing for him. He ain't worth nothing. They could make some trick goal line plays for Bowden because he used to play quarterback. Yeah, true. True, they had a sweet goal line play last year that the Eagles stole. So, as well. So that's something to look at, man. But I got to get up out of here. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. And I look forward to going live more often other than Saturdays, but you know we go live on Saturdays. And I'm going to go live for probably 2 times while the Pistons and the Lions relevant right now. Then we're going to turn over to some college football. I'm going to start to try to get to watching the Tigers, man. I ain't really had a chance to watch them. My grandma passed, used to watch it with her all the time, and she gone, so I really don't get a chance to watch them no more. So I'm really not familiar with all the players as well, too. And what happened to Michael Burton, man? I liked him at fullback as well, too, man. I like Michael Burton, man. But hopefully Nick Baldwin can stick. We need that running back. We hadn't had that running back since Felton, man. You know, real good one.